like, today's the day I assign them a short story that's going to haunt them until the day they die. First,
I was married to an English teacher. Still am. She's just not an English teacher anymore. And every once in a while, in fact, I think it only happened a couple of times, she would take one of my short stories and use it in one of her lesson plans. And to this day, one of my favorite memories as a writer is when she took one of my stranger pieces of fiction and used it as an example of how to build character. After she read it and did the lesson plan, and the bell rang to release the students, one of her students came up and said, "Mrs. Roche, is your husband okay?" I promise you, this is a thing that happened, and it warms the cockles of my black little heart. I love short stories. I love them so much. And because I write so many of them, and because there's just not enough places out there to get them out there, I have ways for you to read them that are 100% free. Unfortunately, this platform does not like to make it easy to provide you with links to those places. So that's why the link tree is there in my bio. But I have been writing, particularly this month, stories inspired by Inktober, which is an exercise during the month of October for artists, visual artists, to draw something, anything, based on a prompt a day. Now, I haven't managed to write a short story a day because reasons. That's a goal I've set for myself a few times over the years, and while I've never managed to make it, that's okay, because I've written some short stories over the years that I wouldn't have written otherwise. And I would encourage you to go over to my Patreon page and read the short stories I've been posting there. They're free to read to the public. They're wide open. And I like to think that they are very clean in terms of, editing and whatnot. I write them and post them the same day. They're hot off the press, so to speak. They will probably find their way into an anthology / collection, whatever you want to call it, at some point. And so they might get an additional polish down the road and possibly an expansion. Some of these are very short pieces of flash fiction. Other ones have taken me by surprise and have expanded into what I would call a true short story, something north of 1,500 to 2,000 words. But what my friend Blake goes on to say is there's just something about the short story and the way that it can grab you. And my hope is that these short stories will grab you the way that the best ones do. They are, most of them, very dark because Halloween, and because I write horror primarily as my passion. But some of them do have hope at the end. My most recent one, inspired by the prompt of Skeletal, I believe, is super dark but has a hopeful ending. But then there's the one about, I think the prompt was crown or thorny. That one has no happy ending. So, yeah, I want you to go over to my Patreon page, which there should be a link in my link tree by the time you see this. And I want you to show me some love. Drop me a comment. Drop me a like. Join the free Patreon because I do post free stuff over there from time to time. Maybe consider backing me at $1 a month or $3. Enjoy my short stories and tell me if they grab you the way I hope they will. And happy Halloween.